Oprah Winfrey's life story is often told as a journey from hardship to extraordinary success, but the reality behind that narrative is far more complex, shaped by poverty, instability, grief, and deeply painful personal experiences. Born into a segregated and economically deprived environment in rural Mississippi, she entered the world at a time and place where opportunity was limited and survival often depended on resilience rather than comfort. Her early years were marked by shifting caregivers, emotional uncertainty, and a lack of consistent security. As she grew older, Oprah has spoken publicly about experiencing trauma in childhood, including inappropriate sexual abuse, which she has described as one of the most painful and formative experiences of her life. These early violations of trust, combined with instability at home, contributed to emotional struggles that would follow her into adolescence. Despite these challenges, she also encountered moments of care, discipline, and encouragement that helped shape her intelligence and emotional awareness. This retelling explores Oprah Winfrey's life in a structured way, focusing on the key phases that influenced her development: her childhood environment, family instability, traumatic experiences, adolescence, early motherhood and loss, her relationship with her mother, the death of her brother, and the emotional growth that eventually shaped her career and public mission. It is a story of survival and transformation, where pain and resilience exist side by side, ultimately shaping one of the most influential media figures in the world. 1. Early childhood and poverty. Oprah Winfrey was born in 1954 in rural Mississippi to a teenage mother, Verita Lee. During a period of intense racial segregation and widespread poverty in the American South, her early environment was shaped by economic hardship that affected nearly every aspect of daily life. Basic necessities were often limited, and stability was not guaranteed. Clothing, food, and housing were inconsistent, and her earliest memories reflect a world where scarcity was a normal condition rather than an exception. For much of her early childhood, Oprah was raised by her maternal grandmother, who lived in a small rural home. This household, though strict, provided her first structured environment. Her grandmother enforced discipline and emphasized values such as responsibility, faith, and education. While life was harsh, it was also where Oprah first began to develop her sense of identity and awareness of language and communication. The physical conditions of her upbringing were often difficult. She has described wearing repurposed clothing and experiencing the social stigma that came with visible poverty. Yet within this environment, she also encountered storytelling, faith traditions, and strong moral teachings that shaped her imagination and emotional intelligence. These early contradictions, hardship mixed with moments of care, formed the foundation of her resilience. Even as a young child, Oprah demonstrated unusual sensitivity to human behavior. She observed adults closely and learned to interpret emotions and reactions, skills that would later become central to her communication style. Her early life was not defined only by deprivation, but also by the early development of insight, empathy, and intellectual curiosity that would eventually contribute to her success. 2. Instability and family separation. Oprah's childhood was marked not only by poverty, but also by constant movement between different caregivers. Her mother, due to financial instability and limited resources, was unable to raise her consistently. As a result, Oprah was often sent to live with relatives, family friends, and occasionally reunited with her mother for short periods. This pattern created a sense of emotional instability during her formative years. Each new environment required adjustment. She had to learn new household rules, navigate unfamiliar relationships, and adapt to different expectations. For a child, this repeated disruption made it difficult to form a stable sense of belonging. The absence of continuity also contributed to feelings of uncertainty about trust and attachment. Although these transitions were challenging, they also exposed her to a variety of human behaviors and social conditions. She witnessed both kindness and neglect, stability and inconsistency. These experiences deepened her awareness of the complexity of human relationships and helped shape her ability to understand people from different backgrounds later in life. The emotional impact of instability during childhood is often long, lasting. In Oprah's case, it contributed to both vulnerability and strength. While she experienced feelings of abandonment at times, she also developed independence and adaptability. These traits became essential in her later development, particularly as she navigated adolescence and began to build her identity beyond her early environment. 3. Early trauma and abuse. One of the most painful aspects of Oprah Winfrey's early life involves experiences of sexual abuse she has spoken about publicly. She has described being subjected to inappropriate and traumatic situations during childhood, beginning around the age of 9. These experiences occurred in environments where she should have been safe, contributing to confusion, fear, and emotional distress. As a child, she did not fully understand what was happening to her, which intensified the psychological impact. The lack of awareness, combined with the betrayal of trust by individuals who were supposed to protect her, created deep emotional wounds. Such experiences often leave lasting effects on a person's sense of safety, identity, and boundaries. Despite the trauma, Oprah has also spoken about her ability to survive emotionally by dissociating and internalizing her feelings. She did not have the tools at the time to process what had occurred, so she carried it internally while continuing to navigate an already unstable childhood. This emotional burden became part of her early psychological development. Over time, these experiences influenced her understanding of vulnerability and empathy. Rather than defining her entirely, they became part of a larger narrative of survival and eventual healing. Her willingness to later speak about such experiences publicly helped bring awareness to childhood trauma and the importance of protecting vulnerable children from abuse. For adolescence and turning point with father, a significant turning point in Oprah's life came when she moved to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey, in Nashville during her teenage years. Unlike her earlier environments, her father's household provided structure, discipline, and a stronger focus on education. This change introduced a sense of stability that had been missing during much of her childhood. Her father emphasized responsibility, academic achievement, and personal discipline. He enforced rules and expectations that helped Oprah channel her energy into school and personal development. Although the adjustment was difficult at first, this structured environment gave her a clearer sense of direction. During this period, Oprah began to excel academically and discovered her talent for communication. She participated in school activities, particularly those involving speaking and performance, which allowed her to express herself in ways she had not been able to before. Her confidence gradually grew as she received positive reinforcement for her abilities. This stage of her life marked the beginning of transformation. While the effects of earlier trauma and instability did not disappear, the presence of guidance and opportunity allowed her to begin rebuilding her identity. It was a foundational period that set the stage for her eventual entry into media and public life. 5. Teen pregnancy and loss. During her early teenage years, Oprah experienced a deeply difficult and life-altering event. She became pregnant at the age of 14. The pregnancy was emotionally overwhelming, occurring during a time when she was still processing earlier childhood trauma and instability. It added another layer of vulnerability to an already challenging life situation. The child was born prematurely and died shortly after birth. This loss had a profound emotional impact on Oprah, introducing her to grief in a deeply personal and painful way at a very young age. The experience forced her to confront themes of mortality, responsibility, and emotional isolation. In addition to grief, she also faced the challenge of public exposure. Personal details of her situation were reportedly shared without her consent, leading to further emotional distress and a loss of privacy. This violation added to the trauma of the experience and reinforced her understanding of how vulnerable individuals can be exposed and judged. Despite the pain of this period, Oprah has later reflected on it as part of her emotional development. The experience contributed to her resilience and deepened her empathy for others facing hardship, especially young women dealing with trauma and loss. 6. Relationship with Mother. Oprah's relationship with her mother, Verita Lee, was complex and often strained by distance and circumstance. Due to financial hardship and life instability, her mother was unable to provide consistent care during Oprah's early years. As a result, their relationship developed in fragments, shaped by periods of separation and limited connection. Throughout her childhood and adolescence, Oprah experienced both longing for her mother's presence and emotional disappointment due to their inconsistent bond. This created a deep internal conflict between love and absence. Over time, she learned to navigate feelings of attachment alongside emotional independence. As her mother grew older, Oprah eventually had the opportunity to confront unresolved emotions and reflect on their relationship. In later years, their interactions included moments of honesty, reflection, and attempts at understanding. Oprah acknowledged her mother's hardships while also processing her own emotional experiences. This relationship illustrates the complexity of familial love shaped by poverty, limited opportunity, and generational struggle. It became one of the emotional threads that influenced Oprah's lifelong exploration of forgiveness, empathy, and human imperfection. 7. Loss of brother Jeffrey Lee. Another significant tragedy in Oprah Winfrey's life was the death of her younger brother, Jeffrey Lee, who passed away in 1989 due to complications related to AIDS. His death occurred during a time when the disease carried heavy stigma and misunderstanding, adding emotional weight to the loss. Jeffrey was an important figure in Oprah's early life, and his death deeply affected her. She has spoken about the pain of losing him at a relatively young age and the added sorrow of knowing that societal stigma contributed to his isolation. His passing brought awareness of broader issues surrounding discrimination and public misunderstanding of illness and identity. This loss reinforced Oprah's sense of empathy and strengthened her commitment to using her platform to address stigma, encourage understanding, and promote compassion. It became a defining emotional moment that influenced her later advocacy and media work. 8. Emotional growth and career impact. Despite the many hardships in her early life, Oprah Winfrey transformed her experiences into a foundation for emotional intelligence and communication skill. Her ability to connect with people, listen deeply, and express empathy became central to her career in media. Her early struggles shaped her understanding of human emotion and resilience. Rather than being defined solely by trauma, she developed a perspective that integrated pain with growth. This allowed her to connect authentically with audiences and guests throughout her career. As she built her media empire, Oprah also used her platform to highlight stories of survival, healing, and transformation. Her personal history informed her professional mission, creating a bridge between lived experience and public influence. Conclusion: Oprah Winfrey's life reflects a journey marked by profound adversity and remarkable transformation. From poverty and instability to trauma, loss, and emotional struggle, her early experiences shaped her deeply. Yet those same experiences also contributed to her resilience, empathy, and ability to connect with others on a human level. Her story is not simply one of success, but of survival, emotional growth, and the capacity to transform suffering into purpose. By confronting her past and using it to inform her work, she became a powerful example of how personal history can shape public impact